Hello, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Lita, and on my channel, I love to talk about all things involving journals, sketchbooks, and stationery. Today, we're going to be doing, as you see, a September plan with me, and I have decided to do my kind of theme for September on the state of Florida. I was originally going to do pink flamingos, and I've incorporated that into my theme for sure. But I decided to make it a little bit of a broader scope, and to make it about the state of Florida. That way I figured it's more relatable. Look, when I lived in New York, which was until recently, I often incorporated New York City into my journaling and monthly themes because I love New York. I got to tell you, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the state of Florida, but I lived here for many years. Now, Florida has basically four seasons like everyone else, but they're a little bit different. Our seasons are hurricane, summer, and then more summer. So I'm not the biggest fan of this because while the rest of the world is enjoying their pumpkin spice lattes and their future upcoming event of the leaves changing, I will be down here experiencing hurricane and summer season. But regardless, I decided to embrace it. One of the things I did love about many years that I lived in Florida previously was, like I say, pink flamingos. So I think I'll be incorporating different facts about flamingos and having some fun little spreads and stuff that I can work into my journal, like about the maybe different interesting facts that people don't know about flamingos, or maybe I will draw and sketch and doodle the 6 different types of flamingos that are out there, things like that to make it fun for me. So, what I've decided to do is I have enough pages left in this A5 Stalogy half-year edition to just barely squeeze one more month. But I have to be conservative and almost treat it like a Hobonichi, where I have literally a page for a day. So I'm also going to delete weekly spreads, and this month, instead of using my large block calendar that I'm making now as something where I can put a positive affirmation, or sometimes people use these large calendars to do like a doodle a day. In my last 2 months, I was using it as my what I call today is a great day, and then I would write in the square or draw in the square what was going to make that day great. Well, this month I'm going to use it more as a functional calendar, and I will be writing in appointments or kind of important to do things, like how I have my cello lessons every Tuesday. I'll be filling that in, my mother's doctor appointments, etc. And then I'll continue to do what I've done in the past that you'll see me make it in a little bit up the road here. I'm going to have on the right hand side some lines where I will do what I call my running monthly, which I always give credit to Elizabeth Turn and Plant-Based Bride. Here you see I picked up some 79-cent paper over at Michael's that had flamingos, and I decided to just use that as an accent for the top and for the bottom. But on the right hand side, I do that like Elizabeth at Plant-Based Bride calls it the rolling weekly. Some people relate that kind of to like the Alistair method. I just call it a rolling monthly because basically it's some things that I want to do or get done or maybe need to buy, but they don't need to be done or gotten on a specific day. It's just something that I would like to do or get, and it would be nice if it got done in that month. So I'll put that. It'll be with the Tombow that I'll highlight, and I'll make lines on the right hand side. So let's watch for a minute here. I'm going to finish it up. Yeah, there we go. This is where I will put my rolling monthly. And also sometimes I'll note in there, instead of in my future log, sometimes I may write a note in there about something that's future for the next month. Okay, here I'm doing something that I'm bringing back from old spread. This is a goals section. So I just feel it, since I'm not going to have necessarily my positive affirmations or gratitude type page, a dedicated page for that. I wanted to have goals. Also, I never made a vision board for 2020, which kind of is like a good thing, because 2020, in my opinion, we should hit the delete button, or at best, if we could, If there was a time machine, I would hit like the fast forward button. Let's get out of it. So, yeah, I've got here my goals section where I'll fill in for business, for my personal growth, and for my creative side. And on the other side of the page, I'm dedicating a section to strength training. I just feel I need to bring that back in just because for my physical wellness, I have like a chronic injury that it's in my shoulder from an accident that I had had. And if I don't do a certain strength training moves, it actually, that's part of what can increase my pain. So it's like, I'm going to try to, by recreating this spread that I used to kind of use and some of my old exercises, hoping to lower my pain and increase my mobility. And then also on the bottom here, I'm just adding a nice positive, like, I think it's a proactive, positive affirmation type quote that it's basically, who you are is not by just being, it's like based on what you do. So I don't remember exactly what quote I wrote down there, but, it's just a positive affirmation quote that I'm throwing in there. I think it gets cut off here because my video editing this month is not the best. Not that it's ever the best, but I'm working on improving my skills. This is actually my first voiceover ever. So, give me a thumbs up just to encourage me, even though it's not the best voiceover. Okay, this is my last collections type spread for the month. And this is what I love to call my Carpe Diem or my hustle page. It's like, go get it, girl type of thing. So I'm going to use some watercolors and draw a flamingo. And I was doing so good here. I think I was feeling really good about myself. And then I don't know what, this was like a month where I felt what I really should have been doing is making a video on how to fix all your mistakes. I can't, I'm not even going to tell you all the errors and mistakes and how much white jelly roll ink went into this spread. Look, it was looking so good here. And then later on, I don't know. No, I do know what happens. This is a classic thing with watercoloring. It's called overworking it. Everything was going great. The legs looked good. Even the kind of feet or lack of feet looked okay. And the beak looked okay. And then I just started overworking everything. I started overworking the beak. I started overworking the feet. And you'll see it a little bit. I'll add this crown on top, which I'm not going to beat myself up too bad about it. It came out okay, but I could have done better. And we're always our own harshest critics, aren't we? So I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But anyway, I hope in general, see, look, here I am really about to start overworking those legs. If you enjoy watercoloring, you'll see what I'm doing. It's the classic mistake of overworking something. I should have just left it alone right there. I should have left it alone and that would have been it. Oh, I do end up adding a little quote. I know it is. Stand tall and be fabulous. That's what I wrote over my flamingo. That's like a thing that I've started doing lately, that I'll go along the edge of the drawing and I'll write something. So anyway, I hope you like this, and I hope you could see that no matter where you live, if you're in Florida, if you're in California, if you're in Australia, if you are in the UK, that this is a type of theme that you could use inside your journal. Just do an outline of whether it's your city and make a map of your city streets, which I think is a little more difficult, or take your state or your country and outline it. And you can kind of put into your weeks or into your dailies or into your monthly some of the things that you love about where you're at. So like I said, if you were to go back and look in my playlist of my journals with me, you'll see that there's definitely more than a few times where I am constantly interjecting my city. When I lived in New York City, I was all about throwing New York City into my journal. I call my time in New York City, that was my love affair with New York City. And I hope that I get to reconnect and get back into New York City in the future. But for right now, and at least for the immediate future, I foresee myself staying here in Florida. And I thought I'd just like embrace that and try to love where I'm at, which is something I encourage everyone to do. Instead of always looking towards the future, try to be present and love where you're at, who you are, and who you're with. So, with that, I'll be quiet and I will let the rest of this just go through. And again, if you did enjoy it, please do give me a thumbs up. Or if you have some positive, constructive criticism, I'm all for that as well. So here's a final flip through. Wherever this meets you at, folks, I wish you well, if it is morning, noon, or night. Take care.